Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about our next chapter, that is North America, and about its location, physical division, and physical features. So, let's get started. North America is the third largest continent in the world. It was one of the last continents to be discovered and mapped by modern explorers and geographers. Means it is the third largest continent and it was the only last continent which has been discovered in the last time. North America is a land of vivid contrast, both physical and cultural. Means it have very beneficial benefits, either physical or cultural. Location: North America lies in the northern hemisphere to the west of the prime meridian. It covers an area of nearly 24 million square kilometers from south to north. It extends for a distance of more than 8,000 kilometers, stretching almost from the North Pole to the equator. Then the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle pass through the continent. North America east to west extent is also 8,000 kilometers. The 100-degree west longitude cut through the center of the continent. Means as you can see, the whole explanation is all about the place where North America lie. As you can see in my screen, the place and the location of North America is explained as it is in the figure. Okay, so you can see it lies in the northern hemisphere in the western prime meridian, and also it has the wait a minute, it has a total distance about 8,000 kilometer, which is stretching from the north pole to the equator. As you can see that it is stretching from this side to this side. Okay, to the south of the North America lies the continent of South America. The Isthmus of Panama joined the two continents. The Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans surrounded North America on its east, west, and north, respectively. The Atlantic Ocean separates it from Europe and Africa, while the Pacific Ocean separates North America from Asia on the west. Means if we will go from the south of the North America, if we will see, we can see there are a lot of content of South America is present, and there is a Isthmus of Panama which join the two continents. Okay, and it also surrounded by Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. So thereafter we will go for the political division. The continent of North America is made up of around 23 countries, with Canada, the United States of America, and Mexico accounting for more than 90% of the area. Means here we are just talking about the political division, means how many states and how many division has been made in this continent. Okay, so there are 23 countries which present, and it has the more than area of 90%. So here you can see these are the list of the country capital, and its name are also given over here, and it is just mark it as very important because I am going to ask you some questions from there also. Then we will go for the physical feature. So North America can be divided into four major physical regions. They are Western Cordillera, Central Lowland, Eastern Highland, the Canadian Shield. Okay, so the Western Cordillera is a series of young fold mountains that run parallel to each other all along the west coast of North America. As they resemble twisted ropes or cords, the ranges are known as Cordillera, meaning ropes or cords in Spanish. Means Western Cordillera is it is a series of young fold mountain, and there are so many parallel mountains. Parallel means one after one, and the peaks should be equal. Okay, so they resembles like twisted ropes or cords. That way it is known as Cordillera. The Western Cordillera is the part of Pacific Ring of Fire. This region thus have many active volcanoes and experience frequent earthquakes. Means the Western Cordillera is a part of Pacific Ring of Fire. It is just called as a part. Okay, so thereafter in this region there are so many active volcanoes are present. That's why it is called Ring of Fire. So Alaska Redoubt volcano erupted in 2009, and there are still a lot of active volcanoes are present over there. So the Yellowstone National Park, which is lie in this place, have spring, mud pool, and geysers. Mean they always bring hot water. Then we will move to the Cordillera, act as a barrier to the Cordillera act as a barrier to moisture-laden winds from the Pacific Ocean and cause relief rainfall. Means the Cordillera also act as a moisture-laden wind because from the Pacific Ocean, because it will just give a relief rainfall to the people who were located nearby. The Cordillera also act as watershed with many rivers originating from its snow-covered peaks and flowing eastward toward the Atlantic Ocean or westward toward the Pacific Ocean. From east to west, the main mountain ranges of Western Cordillera include the East Chain, Central Chain, and Pacific Coast Range. Means the Cordillera also give water and also give many types of relief to the people living nearby. Okay, and from east to west there are so many mountain ranges are present in the Western Cordillera, so that's why we have just divided it in different part, and the parts are Eastern Chain, Central Chain, Pacific Coast Range. These are the different parts. So then we can go um, the eastern chain. This is the broadest chain of the Cordillera with high peak and glacier. The Rocky Mountain from the part of this chain, the Rockies stretch for over 4,800 kilometer from British Columbia in Canada to the southern tip of the USA. Means it is a broadest chain of the Cordillera. Means the eastern chain is the broadest chain of Cordillera. It have a lot of highest peak and glaciers, and Rocky Mountains are also present there. The Rocky Mountain were stretched from 4,800 kilometer from British Columbia in Canada to the southern tip of the USA. It has the highest peak of the mountain, which is named as Mount Elbert. The glacier and snowfield cover the higher reaches of the mountain. The Rockies from the continental divide separating the river that flow into the Pacific Ocean from those draining into the Atlantic and Arctic Ocean. Means there are a continental divide separating, which just separate the rivers which is just flow into the Pacific Ocean, which is just drain into the Atlantic and Arctic Ocean. Mean the water will flow from the Pacific Ocean and it will just drain itself into the Atlantic and Arctic Ocean. As you can see, what a beautiful image it is. So then we will go for the central chain. This chain includes the Cascade Range in the north and Sierra Nevada in California. It makes up, as the name suggested, the middle part of the Western Cordillera. Means there is a central chain and it includes the Cascade Range in the north and Sierra Nevada in California. These are the places. Okay, and it makes up, the name suggested, the middle part of the Western Cordillera. As it is the middle part of the Western Cordillera, that's why it is called as central chain. Hmm. So after that we will go for the Pacific Coast Range. This chain run along the Pacific coast from the Alaska to California. It includes the Alaskan Range, Coast Mountain, California Coast Range, Peninsular Range, and the Sierra Madre in Mexico. So these are the places from which it just include the Pacific Coast Range. Okay, the Central Valley of California lies between the California Coast Range and the Sierra Nevada. Means the Central Valley of California will the location of Central Valley of California, as it is lie between California coast to Sierra Nevada. Denali is the Alaska range, in the highest peak of the North America with a height of 6,100 meter. Okay, so Denali is an range and it is the highest peak in the North America with up to 6,190 meter. In between the parallel range of the Western Cordillera are large intermountain plateaus, namely Columbia Plateau, Colorado Plateau, Mexican Plateau. These plateaus receive very little rain as the lofty range in the West block the rain-bearing winds from the Pacific Ocean. Means the between these range there are Columbia Plateau, Colorado Plateau, Mexican Plateau are located, but they will just get a very little rain as the rain-bearing wind will just blow it away from the Pacific Ocean. The river flowing through this region receive water through the melting snow of the Rockies. Means the river which will just flow from this region have a melting snow of Rockies inside them. Many of the river here flowing through canyons, and the most famous of this is the Great Canyon formed by Colorado River at its flow through the Colorado Plateau. Means there are various purpose, okay, and there are various way of flowing of water over there. So the most part of the major part of the flowing of water will occur through a canyon, and one of the famous canyon is Grand Canyon. It is formed by Colorado River. Okay, the Columbia Plateau is drained by Snake River. East of the Sierra Nevada and south of the Snake River lie the Great Basin, a vast arid area of inland drainage. Means the Great Basin is the place where all the rivers will come and drain their water into. And in its central lies the Great Salt Lake. This region is famous for its basin and range topography. Means there is a Great Salt Lake which is basically famous for its basin and range topography. After that, it is consist of series parallel mountain ranges in spread with lowlands. Okay, so because it have a lot of parallel mountain, as I had told you, the peaks should be equal. Okay, so it consists of a series of parallel mountain range interspersed with lowlands. Thank you. So today we are going to close our class over here. After it, we will start from the central lowland. Thank you.